So real quickly, before we close it out, power of pleasure and pain. I think I might know where this is going, but I'll let you tackle it.
Well, really, it's going back to all this is kind of driven to why are they wanting here in the first place?
Right.
Most people, we make a decision because we either want to move away from pain or we want more pleasure.
Gotcha.
And not that we want to be negative, however, avoiding pain is more of a motivation typically than more pleasure.
Gotcha.
So as you're speaking to the problem, as you're identifying the problem, as you speak to the pain, that becomes more of a motivator
Gotcha.
to the other party.
Right.
You know, you start painting the picture of, you know, have you ever had to deal with a CRA audit? And you start painting the picture of the emotional, the emotional pain, the frustration,
Right.
and it's like just the avoidance of the idea of the potential of that pain can shift them from me just going to registries and
Right.
incorporating to going, no, this is absolutely worth, you know, the extra few $100s. In fact, that extra few $100s now starts to look like a pretty darn good deal, and it's a bargain.
Yeah.
So depending on the industry that you're in, it is, you know, again, decisions are made based moving towards pleasure or away from pain. Most of us are motivated at a higher level away from that pain.
Gotcha.
You know, going back to my van, you know, example earlier, you know, it's like you're painting the picture of putting in that car seat, you know.
Right.
Being in central Alberta here, you know, putting in a second car seat in the back of a sedan at minus 35. Like I don't know if there's anything worse than that scenario right there. And starting to, even if it's summertime, to paint the picture and then to paint the other side to go, now imagine coming up to your van and you pull this button and pull this, you click this and you do this. And you can already see the again, you're moving them from uncertainty to certainty of, like, is this actually the solution to my problem? And all of a sudden, they're not buying a van. They're buying the solution to avoid the problem of changing that car seat out at minus 30 in the back seat of that car.
Gotcha. So, as a business owner, probably a good idea to understand maybe some of the pinch points that potential customers would have and ways that you are able to then move them away from that pinch point and that pain. And then that way you are, you know, well versed and prepared to have those discussions, to set yourself up as that expert, to connect emotionally and move them into, you know, selling something that fixes that problem, gets them away from the danger zone, the pain, the ongoing space issues within that vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I would encourage you to take some time and, you know, if you're a, you know, one-man operation, one-person operation, you know, do it by yourself, but bringing in other people in your team to, okay, what problems do we solve? What are some of the emotions? Some of it's going to take a little bit of, you know, a little bit of creative work. Ask your customers, you know, some of your good customers, why, you know, what are some of your biggest concerns? What do we help solve? And start to understand that at a deeper level. And then you can speak to it. You know, you can speak to it on your website, you can speak to it in person, you can speak to it in your Facebook posts, you can speak to it in your marketing. Because again, people don't buy products and services, they buy solutions to problems, make their decisions based on emotion, justifying it with logic. And you start putting all these little pieces together, and we have to understand what those are. And doesn't mean that we even have to agree with them. You know, it could be their perception of it.
Right.
And part of the education process is just educating them that it is even not as big as a deal as what they think it is.
Right on.